Glorious Glencoe in winter. It is spectacular. What a spot for a wild camp. And we got up a bit late in the afternoon, it's nearly 4 o'clock. I'm also out with Andrew Park and his brother. They've joined me on this trip. And I've also got a tent to try out. A rather infamous one, and maybe I've turned over to the dark side. I've just moved the tent over to here, as the position it was in originally, I couldn't get the pegs in, which is a bit of a shame because it was right in front of 𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗲 and I could have got some nice shots with the camera later on. But the ground's that rocky and icy. I have bent a peg, I've actually snapped two, so luckily I've brought plenty with me. So I've got all the perimeter pegs in, and hopefully we're not going to have an issue with the guy lines, and get this set up for tonight. Got the tent up, it's all pegged out. I'm hoping it's going to be strong enough for tonight. My issue is the winds are meant to pick up later on, so hopefully it's good enough. Now you probably noticed I used Delta anchors, and I'm glad I brought them. I don't normally use them, but in the case of snow and ice like this, I think they're fantastic, ideal for the winter. Rather than snow pegs, I prefer the Deltas in winter. And as for the Hilleberg Soulo, well, this is the first time I have ever used one, and I would say it's probably the closest I've ever been to one as well, and I'm looking forward to trying it. It does get rave reviews and occasional not so good review. I'm going to put it through its paces tonight and we'll see how we get on with it. The light is fading, I need to get everything set up, and I really need a coffee. It's Baltic. Got my stove on the go, looking forward to supper, but the wind has really picked up, and I was testing it on my little device here, and about 5 miles an hour. Doesn't feel 5 miles an hour, but it is, and -3 at the moment. So they're good to get something hot to eat, and I have got with me some Expedition foods. Now these were ones I had for when I was on the West Highland Way, so I've got a few extras that we never used. And I'm also on a bit of a low carb health kick, so I'm going to try this one. Now I really like this. Some people might not, but it's scrambled egg, cheese and caramelised onion. I think it's brilliant. Okay, a prime example of camping in the Scottish mountains. When we first arrived, it was absolutely glorious and not a breath of wind. Within 2 hours, it is -3, and the wind gusts are actually, hitting about 15 miles per hour.
That wind is brutal.
Well, there's nothing better than getting wrapped up in your sleeping bag and warmed up. My feet were frozen, so I've got my hot water bottle on the go again. That's an absolute godsend when I'm out in the winter. Love it. And I was over with Andrew Park talking to him at his tent. I was actually taking some night shots with the camera of his tent with the stars behind. But as we were taking the photographs, or as I was taking the photographs, the mountain rescue helicopter appeared, and they were rescuing somebody from 𝗂𝗶𝗸𝗲. So yes, I've decided to try a Hilleberg Soulo. One come up for sale, and it really was just a spur of the moment purchase just to try it, and lots of good reviews, some negatives, some positives. I thought after all these years of wild camping, I thought I'd better try one. So here we are, and I'm going to try it for a few trips and give you my opinion on it. One thing I will say, it does give you a sense of safety because of its structure. And you might hear the wind. My only concern is the pegs. They're worrying me a little bit. And you might hear the spindrift hitting the side of the tent. Now Andrew and his brother have quite lightweight tents, so I'm hoping they're okay. And we'll see the night out. But so far I'm quite enjoying the tent. I like the fact that it has good headroom. That's something I always look for in a tent. It was easy to pitch, plenty of space inside for my kit, and yes, I'm just sitting here with my hot water bottle, toasty. I might have to go out and check the peg points, the guy lines. I shouldn't really need to, but I do have this niggle. We'll see what happens in the coming hours. It's only about 9 o'clock at night, so hopefully it won't get much worse than this, and if that's the case then great, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So that's it folks, I'm going to have a coffee and get snuggled down, and let's just see what the weather brings. Let's see what it's like when I get up in the morning. Good morning folks, 7 o'clock, and it has been an interesting night. Absolutely brutal. The wind has been relentless and the tent has been bouncing about. Something terrible. Just the winds that have been coming in. Not expecting that, but the tent has held up. Just really noisy. So I've only had maybe an hour or two of sleep, and the rain's on as well now, so I'm going to have to get everything packed away sharpish and then wait till maybe 8 o'clock this morning for a bit of sunlight before tackling the tent and getting that away and then off the mountain.